What you're watching right now was completely edited by Claude. From the zooms, the cuts, the motion graphics, and even the sound effects. In this video, I'll show you how to do it step by step, pretty easy and not over complicated, so you can follow along and learn how to do it yourself. By the end, you will have everything you need so that you can create just about anything else you can imagine. So log in and let's get started. So guys, first of all, what you want to know first is to open Claude, and you're gonna go to Claude Code. If you have never used Claude before, you gotta know there is two main tabs, which are the Home tab and the Code tab. Okay, what we want to use now is the Code tab, which is going to help us to write code that is not actually coding. We're not coding for real. We're just giving commands to Claude Code so that Claude can interpret those commands into real coding. Okay, because we don't really know how to code. We're using this AI tool so that he can code for us. Okay, and then what we're gonna do next is to add a new conversation. You're gonna click here on new session, and then you're going to start to write. Okay, but I'll just show you the previous conversation that I was having about hygiene with Claude Code. Okay, so what we're gonna need first to start is the tool Hyperframes for HeyGen. There are other tools, but today we're using the tool HeyGen. So don't worry about other tools. Maybe you've heard before about Remotion that also goes for the same purpose as Hyperframes, but today we're using Hyperframes. Okay, so what is Hyperframes? If you go to hyperframes.heygen.com, you can see that Hyperframes lets AI agents compose videos by writing code with these coding languages. Okay, so it's basically, think of it as a video editor but using coding. And the prompts you're gonna give the prompts to Claude, just like when you're talking to ChatGPT, and Claude is going to transform those prompts into coding interpretation, and Hyperframe is going to do the work alongside with Claude Code. Okay, so in order to install Hyperframes, you don't have to do it manually. Actually, you're just gonna go here to the bottom side of this web page and click copy, and that's the command so that Claude Code can add Hyperframes manually to your desktop. So you're gonna go click copy, then you're gonna go to Claude Code and go enter. Okay, and that's the message. And what Claude's gonna do is gonna install by itself Hyperframe skills. Okay, so that's gonna make Hyperframe skills, or the tool, whatever you want to call it, install on your PC. And while you do this, Claude is gonna take a little time and is going to ask for some permission. So you click always allow once, or allow always allow. Okay, so as you can see here, Claude already installed Hyperframes on my PC so that it can work alongside with Claude Code. Okay, so what I did next, I asked Claude, how do I create these motion graphics and zooms and subtitles and text animations using Hyperframes and Claude Code? So Claude gave me a brief explanation on how it does that. And it goes like, Hyperframes renders a video from HTML. A composition is just an HTML, which is what I just told you guys. It just uses the coding, it just uses the commands, and then it does the work. Okay, so here are some examples of what you can say after you got Hyperframes installed on your PC. You can go for these prompts: motion graphics, kinetic type, stat, count tab, motion graphics, design, zooms, can burns, camera moves, whatever. And below we have some more explanations of what I just asked Claude to do with Hyperframes. So after you got everything set up, after you got Claude Code working and Hyperframes installed, you will need, of course, your raw footage. You will need your piece of video that it's not edited, that has some mistakes, errors, and you want to edit. Okay, so what you need to do now is to go to a file, a folder that you want to use, and you'll need your raw footage, and you will need to save the path of this footage, okay? If I go here and I click copy, I can type this path in Claude Conversation and I can say, please go to this path on my computer and analyze the video that is there. Of course, if you had a file and you got more videos than just one, you gotta tell explicitly to Claude Code the name of the file, of course. But in this case, I only got one video, one file, so that I can just give the path and Claude is going to find out that that is the file or the video I want Claude to analyze, okay? Or you can do another thing, which is, I think that is more simpler than that you go here at the bottom side and click here and add, and you're gonna click on add folder, okay? And you're going to select the folder where your raw footage is. In this case, I used the folder, I added the folder, okay? And Claude analyzed my video. Okay, guys, now after you've done that, after you've added your folder, okay, you'll need the prompt. This is the prompt that I'm using for this, but I'll leave you the prompt in the description. There is a Google Docs document where the prompt, the exact prompt is. And actually, I got this prompt from ChatGPT. If you go to ChatGPT and write, give me the exact prompt for hyperframe and Claude Code to add in zoom, motion graphics, whatever, surprisingly, ChatGPT nowadays is going to give you this good prompt. And the one that I used for my video intro is the prompt number 1, what you can see right now on the screen. Actually, after you've done your edit, you're going to take your prompt. You can add some things, you can modify some things, but I would say to you guys that looking for prompts can be pretty exhaustive. I guess that like on AI and all the programs, all the softwares, all the new AI that is coming basically every week, you will always need the prompt for getting the result you'll want. So I guess in the future for working, that will be a skill that everyone will need. There will be many prompt engineers. So what we can do right now is ask the same AI to give us some prompts. So in this case, I asked ChatGPT, and I heard that you can use Notebook LM, for example, is a good AI for giving prompts, okay? Or you can also use Claude itself, but Claude is a little bit more expensive than the others, so you can use ChatGPT for free for giving you prompts. But okay, without further ado, let's go back to our editing. Okay, as you can see right now, the prompt, it consists cuttings, zooms, text animation, and yada yada yada. So after that, Claude is going to take some time. Don't think this is going to take like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. This took like a lot of time to complete, but Claude was asking for permission every time the software needed permission to access the skills and access my computer so that it can create this edit, okay? And also maybe Claude is going to ask you for some other skills that he will need in order to create the video. I did not tell you this before, but Claude is going to use more skills than hyperframe sometimes, and you will have to give him permission, okay? So for example, Claude is going to produce the code, analyze the video, and will find some minor errors, and it will correct itself. That is what is fantastic about Claude, that it can correct itself. Okay, if I go through the whole process, I can see that Claude is using some tools for sound effects. Claude is using some tools for cutting, the zooms. So it took a lot of time, and it delivered a first version. And I'm going to show you guys how this first version of the video was. But first, I want you to see the raw footage so that you can understand what Claude did right at the first try and what it corrected after. So let's go. What you're watching right now was completely edited by This is the Claude. raw footage.
From the zooms, the cuts, the motion graphics, and even the sound effects. In this video, I'll show you how to do.
Okay, I think that this is enough so that you know that this was a raw footage with no animations and the other stuff. Okay. One thing I did not tell you that I had already done the cuts to this footage, and this was something I wanted to do it because I thought that maybe Claude would make some mistakes with the cutting. But after the result, I actually regret to do it because at the end, Claude cut more than what I think would be like the appropriate for this video. But anyways, it was a good result. Not exactly what I wanted, but it was a good result. And this one at the top left side is the first edit that Claude did, okay? After all the processing, this was the first result. So let's see how this turned out.
What you're watching right now was completely edited by Claude. From the zooms, the cuts, the motion graphics, and even the sound effects. In this video, I'll show you how to do it step by step, pretty easy and not over complicated, so you can follow along and learn how to do it yours. By the end, you'll have...
Okay, this was the first mistake I found, and I told Claude that I didn't like this. I didn't like the too much swoosh effects and too much cutting, okay? And also it caught the word yourself. So I basically asked Claude to correct this and give me less swoosh sound effects, okay? And over here you can see Claude working on the correction, okay? And also I found out that the at the end of the intro the subtitles catch the word log in instead of log in, but maybe this was because of my English. Okay, and after that, Claude correct this and gave me the video again.
What you're watching right now was completely edited by Claude. From the zooms, the cuts, the motion graphics, and even the sound effects. In this video, I'll show you how to do it step by step, pretty easy and not over complicated, so you can follow along and learn how to do it yourself. By the end, you'll have everything you need so that you can create just about anything else you can imagine. So log in and let's get started.
Okay, now, so how you saw in this video, Claude reduced the swoosh sound effects, reduced the cuttings, corrected the cutting of the word yourself, and also the word log in at the end. So at least for me, this is pretty much amazing. Now we can see that Claude can make mistakes, but it can also correct itself with just one prompt. But now for wrapping this up, I also like to tell the pros and cons. Yes, the thing is that Claude is now taking too much time to do it. I mean, too much time is like 1 hour, but if I were to edit this by myself, I would take like a whole week to learn how to do this effects, motion graphics, cuttings, and all the other stuff. I would take like 1 week to do it, to learn it by myself, and then I would take like a whole day for editing this on Premiere Pro or even DaVinci Resolve, which are the two most worldwide used video editors. So the benefits of this are awesome. The thing is, are in the near future models like Claude, basically the same thing that will do basically the same thing will just come up, and those will be cheaper and maybe even better. So I guess this is quite an interesting time that we live in, and it is quite a revolution. So I guess you're not late for learning, but I really think that these AI skills that now is a plus, tomorrow will be mandatory or required for working. And if you like this video, please subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. It really took me a long time to do this video, and I would really appreciate if you subscribe and hit that like button. See you next time.